What's up, guys? Welcome to this episode of Tech News While Driving. It is February 23rd? 24th? No, 25th. February 25th. I don't even know. All I know is today is Thursday and it is afternoon, so I'm starting work a little late. But in any event, first thing I want to talk about isn't really like majorly newsworthy, but as a YouTuber, it is quite important. One thing that I'm personally not very good at actually is, when I'm doing my videos, is After Effects. And I'm quite limited in the tool set that I have because I'm using Adobe Premiere Elements. So it's not the full professional version. The nice thing that YouTube has rolled out today for free is that no matter if you're a YouTube partner or not, even after you've published a video, if there's something that you need to blur out, like a license plate or somebody's name when you're taking video of, like, I don't know, an office building or something like that, you can actually blur out moving objects in post even after the video itself is published. So that's pretty cool. That's rolled out today already, and it's on the desktop version. I don't think that there's a lot of editing capabilities on mobile, although I kind of did a little bit, but not too much back in the day. But yeah, there's the sun, and we'll continue on. Let me know what you guys think. Hey, so there's another cool thing. As you can see right now, I am using a VHS tape. No, not really, but there's an app. There's a couple of apps, but in the Android App Store, there's one literally called VHS Camcorder. It's $2.99. Well worth it. The nice thing about this, and I'll do a full review of it, but it really does look like, like there's this is actually still recording. It really does look like a VHS recording. It's got very grainy. Bad tracking at the bottom. It's got the date and everything. You can spoof the date if you want to kind of mess around with people. But yeah, I just thought it was kind of fun. Alright, so Microsoft announced today that they are officially canceling plans for Project Astoria. If you're not familiar with that, it was one of the bridges that Microsoft announced at Build 2015, which would allow developers to essentially port over Android applications into the Windows 10 ecosystem and to support Windows 10 Universal Apps. As an Android user, this was a big deal to me, as I definitely feel, as I mentioned in yesterday's vlog, I feel that you need to have the apps there before you have the people, because people are drawn to apps. They're not always just drawn to the awesomeness of the phones. We've seen that time and time again with like the Lumia 1020, just the latest Lumia that came out, and now the HP Elite X3, which a lot of people are excited about. But again, it's like, well, it's going to have things like Snapchat. So this was kind of disconcerting, but at the same time, they're not going to stop their push of Project Idlewood, which is the bridge for iOS apps. And with their recent acquisition of Xamarin, if you're an iOS developer, you can use C++ in Xamarin to develop your applications for iOS, Android, and Windows. So it would allow you to use that code base pretty much all across the board. So let me know what you guys expect out of this bridge, if you think that developers are going to actually take advantage of it, or if we're still going to be in this three-tiered system where Windows Phone apps are going to be kind of the red-headed stepchild, to use a very bad pun. Mark Gurman is back with another rumor. Like I mentioned yesterday, March 15th is an Apple event, and apparently Apple will announce a new iPad, but not an iPad Air 3 or whatever number it is, but actually another iPad Pro, but a smaller variant, an iPad Pro 9.7 inches. This is supposedly going to have the new A9X chipset, upgraded RAM, going to come with the same color schematics as the current iPad Pro, and it will support the Apple Pencil as well as the new Smart Keyboard. So if you are looking for an iPad Pro-like device but you don't need a 12-inch iPad, this might be the alternative for you. Still, I'm in the camp that it's not necessarily a competitor to Surface, although it is kind of, but you're still looking at a mobile platform versus the desktop platform. Now, whatever works best for you on the go, that evidently is going to be the solution for you. But for me, as the Microsoft representative during the day, I've got to say, although I am excited to see how this actually pans out, I would still go for something like Surface 3. It's not as powerful, and it's still going to have some of the fallbacks of the app world, as the iPad App Store is way bigger than the Windows App Store, but Surface 3 can support more apps and programs as a desktop platform than the Apple iPad can in general. So there you go. So on smartphones, one of the biggest things is, when they tell you you have 16 gigabytes or 32 gigabytes, obviously you don't. You really have just shy of that, because part of that is being taken up by the operating system and, applications that are part of the OS, especially with Android. If you get an Android phone from Samsung, they have bloatware. But incidentally, Samsung themselves are actually working on a chipset, or rather flash storage, that's 256 gigabytes. I mean, that's enormous for a phone. Now, we know that there are, micro SD cards can go all the way up to a terabyte and things like that at a slow read and write rate. But this flash storage that they're using universal, what is it? Basically, they're using a universal flash storage standard 2.0 to help power this, and it reads super fast, but it doesn't write so fast as it stands right now. So I'm not, this is more of a concept thing. I mean, they're working on it, and they're apparently working on it to the point where they are mass producing it. And so I don't know if this means like the next Note 6 or if the next tablet is going to be supporting this. I have no clue whatsoever. But what I do know is this might battle the fact where people won't necessarily need to have PCs on the go. I mean, one of the big things is, memory capacity. Even with an iPhone 6 Plus, you can do a lot with that large screen, but there comes to a point where you're not able to do anything anymore because you just don't have that much more memory. So this might sway more people to use phones that maybe have it like a Surface even, or a regular desktop, because more and more people are using mobile computing versus desktop computing. So I'm excited. The biggest drawback that I can think of as it stands right now is cost. Like, how much is this going to cost? If you think of devices that are even 128 gigabytes, which you can get from Apple and Samsung and things like that, those are close to, if not over, $1,000 at full MSRP. So doubling the memory capacity, it doesn't generally add, just $100. You're looking at a few $100s, if not more. So not quite sure how that's really going to affect the market in the immediate future. But if you saw a phone that was 256 gigabytes with additional mass storage components, would that be something that would interest you? What's up, guys? Okay, so got home. There's really no more news that was newsworthy, at least I thought, that I could regurgitate for you guys from what I found out. So that's pretty much it. Thanks a lot for watching. Make sure you subscribe, like the video, and please do follow me on Instagram, LazyTechTV. Talk to you guys in the next one. Bye.